My name is Sam Bazzi, full-time math faculty at Henry Ford College in Dearborn, Michigan.
Hi, and I'm Janice Gilliland. I'm the Dean of the School of STEM at Henry Ford College. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about the state level collaborations that have helped our college get the student success work off the ground. Sam?
Of course. Strongly believing that ongoing collaboration amongst two-year colleges and universities in Michigan will always have positive impact on improving statewide transfer and increasing credit completion. We at Henry Ford College have always been amongst the first to respond to calls by the Michigan Center for Student Success to participate in initiatives aimed at enhancing transfer and student success outcomes. Back in 2016, my colleague Jeff Morford co-chaired the Right Math at the Right Time task force charged with strengthening the three math pathways in the MTA agreement. This work resulted in charging three working groups to recommend learning outcomes for the three math gateway courses, for which Jeff and I participated as co-lead for the quantitative reasoning and statistics working groups. Through those learning outcomes, we were able at our college to align specific and appropriate math pathways to the students' program of study. And of course, the learning outcomes help us facilitate the transfer of the Math Gateway courses after many of the two-year colleges and universities endorse the learning outcomes. We know for many years, we realized that the traditional models of delivering dev math courses haven't been very effective, and posed a significant barrier to college students. In the past few years, we have considered many modalities, including the Emporium model. Seeing a little improvement using the Emporium model, we again answered the call by the Michigan Center for Student Success back in 2017 to reform developmental math education by considering the co-requisite approach, for which we got very good initial results, and now considering full-scale implementation, leaving no developmental math students behind by placing them directly into credit-bearing course and providing the adequate support. In addition to state-level collaborations, another key factor that improved our student success is the good and strong working relationship between our faculty and our college administration. Our college administrators have been very supportive of all efforts by the math department to reform developmental math, allocating needed resources and bringing everyone on board, including registration, advisors, counselors, marketing, learning lab, and others, is critical for the success of any initiative geared toward improving students' outcomes. An example of this good working relationship at our college is the fact that my dean, Mrs. Janice Gilliland, and I are working together to produce this video.
Thanks, Sam. And I feel lucky to have faculty that are so engaged. The Michigan Center for Student Success has provided continuous opportunities for professional development and to speak to their colleagues across the state, gather research from national initiatives. At Henry Ford College, we are lucky to be able to support that because we provide funding for full-time faculty to travel, attend conferences. They're given release time. That's created a real culture of professional development that they follow the national research, they get together. One example, I recall we went to Florida as a group, and out of about 15 math faculty, 8 people attended. And then not only did they attend a conference together, but had dinner afterwards together. And that just provides that time to start thinking about what they've had, what they're going to do with the information when they go home. So getting away from the classroom, hearing about new initiatives, and then actually having some time to discuss and start planning has been really beneficial for Henry Ford to be able to continue to participate. One of the great things that the Michigan Center for Student Success has provided is a logical progression of professional development. It's not new initiatives all the time. So you don't get the fatigue. They're logically connected, unifying our goal of student success.
Although the MyReconnect policy mandated that colleges meet certain minimum requirements to qualify, however, From my conversations with my colleagues at Henry Ford College and other colleagues I met last year through many virtual events sponsored by the Michigan Center for Student Success, by the Michigan Center for Student Success, I feel very comfortable to say that this policy is being looked at by most of us as a great opportunity to continue or accelerate, just our efforts, to reform developmental math education. We all know that the traditional way of delivering developmental math education is posing significant barrier to our college students. In order to remove this barrier, we need to further collaborate to align our placement and developmental math programs, and at the same time strengthen the implementation of the MTA agreement. I personally see this policy, this new policy, as a double win for all of us. The first win would be to reform our developmental math education, which is a much more needed task, than ever before. And hopefully we can do it once and for all. And at the same time, we will be getting the support from the state to do so through the My Reconnect initiative.
Sam, I was lucky enough to, and I was honored to serve on the Michigan Reconnect LEO work group, who is putting these policies together. The groundwork was laid by an outside organization with national expertise, and this created a focus for the group rather than just having discussions. They arranged for presentations on research-based strategies that were successful across the nation. As part of the work group, there were online discussions, offline discussions, feedback, synchronous and asynchronous. And this really allowed for a lot of reflection and collaboration of all the employers, the educators, the policymakers who were involved. What I really thought was great about the project is that there was no dominant voice or voices. Everyone was heard. And I think that's what helped create a successful recommendation. One other example of a project that we worked on was the My Transfer project. In that program, the My Transfer Pathways, faculty from across the state came together and had an opportunity to sit physically together, which is unusual these days, and discuss transfer. They were able to discover which of their credits transferred and their courses transferred to 2-year, 4-year private universities across the state. They were able to find out where the credits didn't transfer to and where there was work to be done. What was your experience with the My Transfer Pathway, Sam?
I've had the chance to be involved in the My Transfer Pathways during the My Transfer Pathways summits back in 2018 and 2019. And because of my work on the 3 math pathways, and in particular, the statistics learning outcomes, I've had the opportunity to connect with interdisciplinary peers from different colleges and universities and provide advice and input on the recommendation of the first college level math course. And in particular, where the introduction to statistics course would be a best fit in a specific program. In another instance, the My Transfer summits were of great benefit and help to faculty who were attending, the summits and were not aware of the existence of already approved, math pathways such as the quantitative reasoning pathways, in addition, to the traditional college algebra and statistics pathways. Because our college was an active participant in the summits with representatives from different programs and discipline, this work resulted actually in improving our own students' transfer outcomes as well.
Thanks, Sam. That's a perfect example of how the initiatives from the MCCA have just transitioned. We have the pathways. Now let's get the pathways into the programs. Now let's get the students more successful.
Exactly.
Thanks for the conversation today. And the next slide will be our contact information. Do feel free to contact either Sam or myself through the email, or pick up the phone and call the number there. Thank you.